Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, January 5th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we will get started shortly with our analysis for this morning. So just a couple things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, a few more things right here. All right, I think we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, solid. All right, looks like people are making their way right now. So I'll give it a few moments for people to join and then we will get started shortly. Nice. So if you guys saw, I took a pre-market trade right here. I'll go over it a little later. I made a full TP right there. I made about 1,000 per account. TFF is still not giving me full profit. Patricia mentioned they were doing better, but I still made 500 on this account. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Chrissy over here. Nice work, Chrissy. She took a trade here as well for a sell. Total profit of 106. Nice work, Chrissy. So looks like some of you guys here did take some pre-market trades as well. If you guys didn't, it's okay. These aren't going to count towards the results. They're just my personal trades. And then we will hopefully catch some here as we start the actual trading session. All right, solid. So let's see who's here. Morning iPhone, morning Kenny, morning Stern, morning Peter, morning Chrissy, morning Maria, morning everybody. Nice work, Chrissy, on that TP right there. I'll go ahead and take a look at your trade a little later. I'm going to go ahead and set up the room real quick because we need to get started and hopefully analyze this for possible entry before the market opens. So just give me a moment real quick. Post this on the social media real quick. All right, so we had news this morning, and we do have more news this morning as well. So market might be a little crazy once the news comes around. Well, we'll see, where that takes us. All right, cool. So it looks like majority of you guys are here so far. So let's see who else is here. Morning, Peter. Morning, Rashida. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So market is opening in about 3 minutes. Let me go ahead and take a look at the overall direction of price right here. We have news right here too. So let me just mark that up as well, because that's going to be really important to look at. We had news at 5:15. So 4:30, 5:15, and 5:30. I'm just going to mark that up so we don't trade around those areas. Was it 4:15? 4:30, 5:15. Okay. So 4:30, 5:15. Obviously, this big candle right here. It's kind of far from price, so I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal for us, but definitely something that we want to keep in mind. All right, so market is opening in about 2 minutes, guys. We got more news coming up over here at 6:45, 7:30, and 8. 6:45, 7:30, and 8. So this is going to be a little bit of an issue. Well, maybe once we get closer towards the end of the session, but we'll see where that is. Anyways, let me take a look at the 10-minute real quick. Looking over here on the 10-minute, it's currently, so this is going to be a little bit iffy again, guys, because this thing hasn't confirmed yet. The 1 hour here is somewhat bearish, but it's not like confirmed, right? It just swing below on this most recent candle, but it hasn't really confirmed that it's bearish yet. Here on the 30-minute, same thing. This kind of swing below about 2 candles ago. So it's not very strong with regard to the trend. This here is somewhat bearish. It's like bearish neutral. This is also bearish neutral. And the 10-minute here is bearish. So technically the breakout 2.0 would be a sell, but I just don't feel comfortable with it because it's not really confirmed yet, right? You want to make sure that it's a very strong trend in that direction. So what I'm going to do here again is I'm going to mark up the breakout 2.0, but unfortunately, I'm not going to take this trade. I'll be looking for scalps, but I'm not necessarily going to look for the full entry because for one, there was news here in the morning. So this news caused price to drop like this. So there might be a strong retracement to the upside before price actually comes back down. So the market is now open, guys. This right here is a breakout 2.0. I already marked it up for you guys so that you guys can follow. But again, as I mentioned, I'm not going to take this trade here because I'm just not fully convinced that this isn't a strong downtrend just yet. Looking over here at the 1 minute or 1 hour, sorry. As I mentioned, it's not really confirmed as a downtrend, right? I know the trend meter just turned red. It's not really confirmed yet that it's going to keep down below, so I'm not going to take it, but we will follow it and see where it goes. So the 1 hour here is somewhat bearish. 30-minute here is somewhat bearish as well. The 10-minute here is obviously bearish, but this is the only time frame that's very for sure that it's going to be coming down. So I marked it up for you guys here. This is the breakout 2.0. If you guys took this trade here, feel free to move your stop loss and profit whenever you feel comfortable or uncomfortable. Whenever you don't feel comfortable about a position, guys, I always recommend that you guys pull out and profit or just pull out in general, because the last thing you want to do is hold on to a position that you don't feel good about. Every position you take, you should feel 100% about. You should understand and feel that it's going to hit TP. But if you don't feel good about it, then just pull out and profit. Like right here, if you're in this position now and it's pushing down heavier, just make sure that you make the right decision and you either move your stop loss and profit to just take away that risk, or you pull out already and profit where it's currently at. Because you've made about, let's see how many pips right here so far. You've made about like 300 or about 300 to 400 pips so far, right? If you took this position on open and then you held on to it, it's now pushing it down even further. And I'll put an alert here to alert us if and when it does hit TP. I do think it'll hit TP, but as I mentioned, the time frames for 30-minute and 1 hour aren't necessarily too established. So I'm not in this position, but if you guys want to take it, or if you guys are in it, make sure that you move your stop loss and profit, or you are making an attempt to either take some profit along the way. So this is a breakout 2.0. It's still running right here. So I do recommend moving your stop loss in profit if you are in this position. It's dropping down pretty heavy right now. The last thing you want to do is get greedy here at this point, because you're already locked in a lot of profit. This is in profit well over 1,000 pips already. So question from Chrissy. She's asking, this pair is 430 Dow Jones, right? Is Dow Jones? Yes, this is correct. This is US30, Chrissy. It's just the future. So YM is just the real asset that US30 copies. It's basically the same thing though. If you look at the movement side to side, same exact movement. It's just YM is a little faster because this is the raw data. This is where it copies from. All right, Rashida said the 1 minute breakout is also running right now. Nice, yeah. 1 minute breakout is also running. The only downside here is that it's right next to the, it's like right on the session, I believe, but it is running in profit right here. So both of them are running in direction as they're supposed to go. I'm not going to chase this here, guys. So I'm not in this position for the breakout, and I'm not in this position for the breakout 2.0. So breakout 2.0 and regular breakout is currently running right now. I'll put an alert for both. Looks like it's about to hit TP. So this here is the breakout regular breakout. Okay, so regular breakout right here hit full TP, guys. If you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. Don't worry. I didn't see this one myself. I was too busy on the daily 2.0 over here. The breakout 2.0. It's about to hit TP here as well. So it looks like both of them are going to hit full TP on both of them, guys. If you guys took either one, great work. Yeah, that was smooth. There was like no drawdown right there. So you guys see how lucrative this strategy can be. This strategy is a really simple strategy. As you can see, I analyzed this within just 1 minute. Like literally, I pulled this up at like 6:29 and I was like, hey, it's bearish, but it's not very strong. Bearish here, but not very strong. But the 10-minute here was for sure bearish. So that's why I marked it up already. As you guys saw, I already had the chart open. It was ready to go. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. Just wait for the next scalp to come up. There's going to be more trades along the way. So if you guys have profits for that, go ahead and post up your profits. Otherwise, I'll give you guys a little update here for the trades. So I don't really apply the normal breakout anymore because I think the breakout 2.0 is a better entry to take, but I will go ahead and just give you guys the little confirmation here so that you guys can mark it up on your, or you guys can pull out of your position if you're still in it. I know some of you guys wait for me to actually give you guys the update for pulling out, but you guys got to pull out of these positions. Super risky right now. So this is going to be the breakout. And then also the breakout 2.0. Typically, if we have a breakout 2.0 and the normal breakout follows it, then odds of it hitting are very likely because you just have a very strong double confluence there. So yeah, if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. But as you guys can see, we've been testing this out just to show you guys, how this plays out. And you guys can see that it works very well when the requirements are present. So nice work on the breakout and breakout 2.0, guys. So I'm just going to post this update in the group so that you guys can know. And then we'll be looking for some normal scalps following this. All right. All right, guys. So back to the 1 minute time frame. We're done with the 10 over here. It's already hit full TP. We're going to clean this up right here as well. Or I just leave this up for now. So the trade that I took this morning, guys, is something that we're testing out. Something that CT kind of figured out, which is super cool. Basically, it's like a momentum failure type trade. Not really going to go too much in detail of it. It's something that I'm going to keep trying out and testing, but it works very well. Basically, the concept and logic behind this type of entry that I took right here is that when we have trend going to the downside, whenever you get a retracement signal, so for example, it's in a downtrend right here, you get a retracement signal like this, and the retracement signal shows that volume is low. This is a momentum failure, right? Because when price retraces like this, it's attempting to reverse to the opposite side. So price is in a downtrend, and when you get a momentum signal right here, I consider this a retracement signal, right? Whenever a retracement signal comes up, it has an opportunity to reverse, right? If it doesn't have enough volume but behind it, it's not going to reverse, right? It's just going to keep going down further. So what happened right here, this trade that I took, is I saw the retracement signal right here, and then I saw the volume was low. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a momentum failure, right? And that's why I took the trade there for a sell. And that's how I locked in this profit over here pre-market. So I locked in 1,060 off my FTMO main account. You can see the green strip right there. Let it hit full TP. My copy right here on FTMO locked in 1,160. My MFF number 1 locked in 1,060. MFF number 2 locked in 1,060. MFF number 3 locked in 1,060. And then my TFF over here. Patricia said it is moving a little better, but I'm still locking in half profit on my TFF. So I don't know, maybe yesterday was just that one day that it started to work decent, but TFF is still not on my good list. I'm still not happy with the profit that they're giving me because every other account gave me 1,000 at least, and this gave me 500. So some BS, but whatever. It's got to deal with it. Anyways, so we're looking for other entries here. Let me go ahead and just clean this up real quick. so that there's nothing on the chart. I don't want you guys to be confused. We have news coming up right here at 6:45, so you got to be a little careful with taking entries around this area here. However, everything here is bearish. So looking over here at the 10-minute, it's currently bearish. You can see it's bearish because price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. This is dropping down pretty heavy right now. Also, we've got the 5-minute over here, also bearish. Price below the pivots. Trend meter red. And the pivots are angling down. Lastly, here on the 1 minute, you can see same exact thing. Prices below the pivots, the trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. So with that said, we obviously have a bearish bias here with regard to trend, and we're going to be looking for sells for the time being. If that changes, I'll let you know. But at the moment, looks like we are just going to be looking for sells. So let me go over here real quick, and I just maximize this because we don't have to look at these other time frames since we already know everything's bearish. I'm going to set up my alerts here. So if we do get an opposite signal, it'll give me an alert, right? So I'll put up the strategies here that we're applying. We're going to be applying the momentum scalp and momentum scalp variation, just these two strategies. If the momentum failure strategy works very well and I continue testing it here on the live session, then maybe we can implement that as a third strategy because it's going to work in regard to our other strategies here anyways. We're still confirming overall trend. So everything's pretty much different. It's just different entry points. So we'll see how that plays with, the entries that we're looking for here. So in order for us to take an entry, guys, looking over at the requirements. So first, confirm overall trend. We already know this is bearish. Next, you want to confirm retracement momentum signal here for momentum scalp variation. So we're basically on step 2. In order to get this, we need to get a buy signal here. That's going to be considered a retracement momentum signal, towards the or against the trend. So that's basically all we're looking for. Looking over here on the momentum scalp, we pretty much covered everything here. Overall trend is bearish. We have a 10-minute momentum signal for a sell, 5-minute momentum signal for a sell. You can see sell signal right here, sell signal right here. So moving on to step 4, we just need a momentum signal for a sell on the 1 minute. So pretty much the same thing here. In order for us to get that momentum sell signal, we need to get a retracement, right? So once we get the retracement here, it's going to set up for an entry for both the momentum scalp variation and also the momentum scalp. So I'm not going to chase this drop right here. I'm going to wait for it to retrace up. Once it retraces up, then I'll catch it for a continuation back to the downside. But until then, we will just be waiting patiently. We also have news right here coming up at 6:45. So I'm not going to hop into anything around that time. It's just a little too risky. Anyways, let's see. Pat said extra confluence of the volume on the 1 minute breakout feels pretty solid for the strategy. Yeah, definitely, Patrick. It helps a lot because it really allows you to see if there's movement in the market, right? Because you don't want to enter a trade when there's no movement. But you can see right here, ton of volume on open. So you can see that there is a strong momentum signal for a sell. And then on top of that, you have volume down here. So if you were to take the breakout, like we mentioned, I wouldn't have taken it because it was on the sessions right here. But you can see that when there is volume, it doesn't care about anything, right? It'll blast right through it like it did right there. So something we'll keep in mind. I think the volume meter down here is really good with regard to confluence. It's not good by itself, but if you use it with regard to our strategy here, because we do trade off momentum, this does play a huge factor in determining, when and when not to enter a trade. Question from Maria. She's asking, when possible, can you show us how to set the moving average in the volume indicator? So yeah, and you said never mind, but I'm going to answer your question anyways, Maria, because I don't, other people probably have the same question, but they're just too shy to ask. So if you go to the volume indicator right here, just go to your settings tab, and then it'll say volume moving average. So typically you don't have the moving average there, but when you turn it on, it'll come up on your chart. What this shows you right here is this is going to show you the average of volume, right? When volume is below it, that means it's below average volume. When the candle is, or whatever this is, this bar is above it, this is going to indicate that it's above average volume. So when you tie in momentum with volume, you're like, okay, if you have those two together, then odds of price continuing to drop lower are very likely, like this right here, right? Nice move. So that's just the confluence I started to use. I'm always looking for ways to make our entries and strategies better. So whenever I see something good, I don't hide it from you. I know a lot of you guys are from other groups, and a lot of people don't like giving you these little secrets. But we're all a community here. So when I make money, you guys make money. So it goes full circle. So whenever I see something cool, of course, I'm gonna introduce it to you guys because this is gonna help both of us and all of us use it to our advantage. Like if I find something new, I'm gonna show it to you guys so that you guys can test it out, and then you guys can be the proof of concept, right? You can show me if it actually works. If it works for you, it's got to work for me, right? So you guys can help be the guinea pigs with testing these new concepts and new additions to our strategies. And if they work for you, then maybe we'll implement it into our actual strategies. But as of now, it's just a confluence. So, and it's probably just going to stay a confluence because I don't like adding too many requirements. I like to keep the requirements as simple as possible. The confluences are extra on top of it. Anyways, Patrick said, nice. So Patrick did catch part of the drop earlier for the breakout, which is solid. Let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Kip, I just saw your message right now. Anyways, let me check the YouTube real quick, see who else is here. Let's see, hey Gary, morning. Morning, Kevin. Morning, Nick. Morning, Douglas. Morning, everybody. So, all right, guys, we don't have anything to take right now. At the moment, we're waiting for this news to pass. News is coming up right here in 1 minute. Next candle. Once we have that there, I'll go ahead and mark up the news price, and we'll see where it goes from there. Hey T, how's it going? Morning. All right, so as of now, we're just waiting for this news candle to come up. Here goes the news candle right here. There's a pending signal on the 1 minute. I'm gonna go ahead and just mark up news right now, so I don't forget. Also, I got to mark up opening price. It's one thing I always forget to do. All right, so basically, all of these horizontal lines, guys, these are considered red flags for me. So these pink lines right here are news price. You can see there is news pre-market. This purple line right here is the sessions high low for the Asia high. You can see here my little notepad or little descriptions right here on the side. This purple one's the Asia high. This purple one's the Asia low. This green one right here is the New York low. The red one's overlapping with it's in London low. And then we have news price down here. This blue line over here is going to be NYSE open. So that you guys can be aware, these areas are considered areas of manipulation for me, right? If you guys look back and see whenever price touched these areas here, you can see where price starts to either consolidate or bounce off super heavy. So like right here, for example, not a good area to trade. So just keep that in mind. Whenever price gets near these horizontal lines, I don't enter any trades at that point. Maddie said 1 hour is at a quadruple bottom. Maria said quintuple. So I guess there's 5. Let me go over here to the 1 hour real quick. I'm gonna clean this up, guys, because we're already done with the breakout 2.0. So yeah, here's the 1 hour chart that you guys were just referring to. Yeah, it's testing it a lot right here. It's hang on, just yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're right. Quintuple. There's 5 of them right there. 5 rejections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll see where this what happens here. I mean, price. If you look at this closely, price is really just ranging. So you look at close enough, price is ranging between these areas, right? So we'll see if price bounces or if it drops below. But we don't really care because we don't trade this way. We're not trading support resistance or any of that. I mean, it's a good confluence to look at, but you can see here realistically price is just ranging back and forth. Huge range since December 21st. Yeah, thanks, Maddie, for that little identification there. We'll follow it and we'll see where it goes. Maybe this will, identify as a bounce, but who knows? Yeah, Kevin said it may reverse from here because it grabbed all of the higher time frame liquidity below, but news might just spike it down further. This is a trick area. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Kevin, 100%. That's why I'm not really looking to take anything right now. We do have more news coming up a little later. So even though we just had news right now, it's at 6:45. We have another news event right here at 7:30. Let me check the calendar real quick. And then Kenny sent me this link. Thanks, Kenny, for this little update right here. Kenny sent me this link for the House of Democrats holding a news conference. So this might affect the market as well. They're probably gonna, address the new year, address the possible recession coming. I mean, who knows? A lot of stuff they can cover. Looking over here at my FX book, let's check if there's any other news here. We got news at 7:30, news at 8. It's pretty much the same thing I marked up, so nothing new there. And we're just going to see how this plays out. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. We're still looking for some retracement here. Hopefully we can find one. The cool thing about this retracement momentum signal is that if volume's low on it, we can also use that as a momentum failure. So it's going to go hand in hand with our analysis here. I kind of don't like when the volume gets kind of too high because it gets in the way of the candles right there. But let me see if I can maybe adjust this a little bit. So it's not exactly, so it's not kind of like too much in the way. The volume right there was crazy. This candle here had a huge volume. All right, so that helps a little bit. Let's bring it down. Doesn't help completely, but it does kind of clean it up a bit. All right, so there's nothing going on right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we'll just keep waiting here for this retracement signal to come up. As you guys can see, the volatility is starting to die down quite a bit. No surprise here, really. I mean, after this big drop, of course, price is going to try to slow down a bit. At 650 right now. So I think price might consolidate to like 7. Usually the times when they go to the whole numbers, 7 o'clock, 7:30, 650. It's typically when a lot of these option contracts start to expire and on the shorter time frames, and it's going to cause some movement in price. So we're probably going to get some consolidation here for the next 10 minutes or so, and then as we get closer to 7, we'll probably get a bigger push. You guys can see like price is moving kind of slow right here. As soon as it got to 6 o'clock right here, we got a bigger candle, push price down a little bit. Okay, so we're getting the retracement signal right here, this buy signal. If it closes right here, then this will technically be the retracement that we are looking for. The only problem is that it's so close to the news price right here. So if price does push above and then come back below, we can't take that for a momentum scalp variation just yet. So if this candle here closes above the pivots with a green buy signal, this is going to confirm step 2. And it's also going to confirm step 3, right? Step 2 is confirm retracement momentum signal in the 1 minute. Step 3 is going to be confirm price close past pivots and retracement. So price is below the pivots. As price swings up right here, it's going to confirm step 3 that it closes past the pivots and retracement. Volume right here is low. So this is also going to be a setup for the momentum failure that I was referring to, the trade that I took pre-market. So the momentum failure is going to be like right here, but it's right at the news candle. So obviously not one that I would take, of course. But it looks like it's going to hit TP. And it did. It went straight to TP right there. So CT, your little observation there plays out nice. CT came up with this. So, CT gets full credit for this this little variation to the strategy here. Full TP right there. I would have taken it, but it was right at the news price, so not one I'd mess with, of course. It's where possible manipulation happens. But yeah, that played out perfect, guys. Will said it looks nice, the strategy. How long have you tested it? Like a few minutes ago. It's my first time taking it. I mean, I started looking at it yesterday. CT mentioned it to us yesterday because he was kind of testing stuff out. And then I was looking at it yesterday, literally all of the entries hit, like they were all full TPs. And then this morning I saw it and I was like, damn, all the trades from this morning hit full TP too. So I was like, I might as well try it out. So I saw it at 6 o'clock and I was like, okay, I have about like 30 minutes till market open. I can maybe catch quick entry because it happens right after. So I took it, and that's the only time I really tested it. I mean, I've looked back at it, Will, but I haven't actually tested it, right? Because we just came up with it like yesterday. Well, I didn't come up with it. CT came up with it, and then I ran with it, and it's been hitting like every single time I see it. So, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty solid. Anyways, we have a momentum scalp variation possibly coming up, but if this touches the news candle, then it's going to invalidate it. One thing to keep in mind too is that the volatility here is a little high, or I mean, it's not super high, but you can see like if it does drop below, the candle is going to be bigger than the stop loss. So it's going to be a little risky. I just don't want to take any trades around this area here where this pink line is. It's not a good area for me to want to enter anything because it's going to be one of the red flags, right? You guys are familiar with the red flag, of course. When to avoid trades when price is near news price, which I mean, it's literally on news price. So yeah, we'll keep testing this, what we'll call the momentum scalp, momentum failure scalp, as I see them. It's not going to be one of the official strategies yet because, you know, we literally just came up with it and started applying it. But we'll see how it plays out because I'm always looking to make more money, guys. If I could find strategies here. So our main strategy is the momentum scalp, right? There's like little variations to it. Momentum scalp variation is what we're looking at right here. And then also on top of that, the momentum failure, which is basically another variation to the momentum scalp because we were confirming overall trend. I mean, this is the key concept to like all of the strategies we're applying here. Everything's based off momentum. So if we could find little variations to it, we'll just add to it because it's just going to confirm more and more entries after that, right? So we never got a momentum scalp variation here, guys, unfortunately. It just never closed past it. So price was above it, never came back below. William is asking, hey, Sean, do you have a list of confirmations for that new momentum failure strategy? No, because I literally just applied it once today, William. So until I test it, I'm not really going to have a list of confirmations because we don't have a specific strategy to follow just yet. This is my first time ever applying it. I mean, I've been following it, but you know, I don't know if it's very accurate or not until I've actually tested it. So once I test it and I see, okay, these are the requirements that we need to follow, then I'll give you guys the requirements. So I'll keep testing it, see how it plays out. It works really well though, how we're applying it. I try to keep it as simple as possible. But you know, of course, you want to just like jump into a strategy without actually testing it under all conditions. Maybe like this week is just like one of those weeks where everything hits because literally everything is hitting this week, right? You see all the momentum scalp entries right here. Kip also mentioned this on Tuesday. He was like, he was taking every momentum scalp entry, but he was disregarding all the red flags. He didn't care about news. He didn't care about sessions, didn't care about nothing. But every trade that he identified, they all hit TP. So I don't know if this week is just one of those weeks where, you know, the market is just moving in our direction perfectly, or, you know, if this is just an outlier. So I don't want to give you guys requirements and then it's not really tested and confirmed just yet. But yeah, let me see if I could find, because I did get some screenshots here. Where is the thing that I... Yeah, so I marked this up yesterday. This is the momentum scalp variation that, or momentum scalp, momentum failure, or whatever we're going to call it. You can see this is during Asia session. They both hit TP. There's like 3 back-to-back full TPs during Asia session, which is remarkable because you're like, damn, the market barely moves during Asia. So if it hits during Asia, it's got to hit during New York because the volatility is there. And then I think CT also sent me some screenshots yesterday too. I mean, CT is the one that came up with it, so he sent us some screenshots, and it's pretty remarkable what he found here. But I was gonna look up Kip's. Where's Kip at? Okay, so Kip sent me this one right here. You can see that Kip on Monday or Tuesday, he basically just like looked at every momentum scalp that came up, and there were like, and he was using a bigger TP stop loss. He was using 25.50. He had 13 wins and 2 losses. So huge profits right here. It's crazy. Uh, yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, so I don't know how the market's moving, guys. So I can't really. Sorry, I'm just looking at the other chat, our little admin chat. I'm not sure if the market's just moving like really smooth today or for this week because this is the new year, or if this is going to continue. So once I figure out like what requirements are best and what's like going to work, then I'll give you guys the requirements. But at the moment right now, it's just these are the two different things that we're looking at. So we're looking at the momentum failure, which is going to be in line with what we're already applying. So what I do recommend, guys, is if you guys are applying a strategy, or if you guys are looking for a strategy to really focus on like one main strategy and then harp on different variations to that strategy. So for example, here, this is the main one that we're applying, right? The momentum scalp. For this one, we're looking for overall trend on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10-minute time frames. And on top of that, there's small little different entries that we can take in between. So for example, we're looking for momentum signal in our direction here, right? If you guys look at the momentum scalp variation, typically whenever we get a variation, so for example, this is a variation right here, it's usually followed by a momentum scalp. So when we get something like that, it becomes very useful because you can take like 3 strategies, the 3 different entries off like one candle or 3 candles that follow each other. So yeah, if you guys want to just, what I'd recommend is just find one strategy that you're really good at and then create little variations within that strategy so that you guys can take multiple entries. So you could have one momentum scalp variation and then it's followed by a momentum scalp and then it's followed by a momentum failure, right? So it's pretty useful. Anyways, we have a sell signal here, guys. This is going to be a momentum scalp entry, but it's right at news price. So it's not one that I would necessarily take. Also, the candle here is a little big. If you could mark this up right here, typically you can see it's big if your stop loss is less than the candle. So I'm not taking this trade here. Unfortunately, it just doesn't fit our criteria because red flags, right? When to avoid trades when price is near news price, which it's directly on news price, and then also when candle prior entry is too large. So there's 2 red flags right here. That's why it's a for sure no entry for me. I created these red flags for a reason because they help prevent me from entering risky trades or just trades in general that aren't good. So this right here would hit my stop loss. That's why I didn't take it, because I already anticipated this was going to happen. Whenever you guys see an abnormal candle like this, price will typically retrace to the halfway mark or the full candle. Once it retraces to that point, it's either going to continue pushing up in reversal or it's going to correct right back down. So 2 different scenarios here that can play out. And I'm sure this has happened to you guys a lot, right? You guys enter a trade right away, it hits your stop loss, and then after it hits your stop loss, it goes straight to profit target. It's the worst feeling ever. And that's why I don't take trades like that. And that's why I came up with these red flags. So I've been burnt. Once you get burnt enough times, you start to realize, okay, this is what happens when I lose a trade. And then you'll know exactly when to avoid it in the future. Yeah, Kevin said slow robotic push to the upside. I hate when the market moves like this. If it fakes out a lot in both directions, when price moves like this, be careful if you take a trade. Yeah, and I agree, Kevin, 100%. I mean, price is stuck at news price right here anyway, so I'm not really looking to take any trades at the moment. But yeah, if you guys are looking to take trades, even Kevin here mentioned, be careful if you're trying to take something, because the movement here, this is not the best type of movement to trade in. Also, it looks like price is now going into a range. So let me go ahead and just move this up a little bit because I want to get this stuff out of the way. And I'll draw the range over here. So price is really just ranging at the moment. Right there, fortunately. So just to give you guys a visualization, not really a good area to trade. You don't want to trade when prices ranging. This is also another red flag. Red flags when to avoid trades when price is ranging. Obviously, it's clear that price is ranging right here. The reason why you don't want to take a trade when price is ranging like this is because when price is in a range, it's just preparing for a breakout. Breakout's going to happen one way or the other. And the last thing you want to do is get caught on the wrong side of the market, right? So we'll see where this goes. Hey, Patricia, I just saw you join the room. I was wondering if you were taking any trades on your TFF, because I know you mentioned yesterday that I was moving better, but I took one today and I got half profit. So I wanted to see if like you had the same issue, because all my accounts over here locked in full TP for 1,000, 1,100, 1,160. But my TFF gave me 500. So I'm not sure if you had the same issue. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Patricia said, yes, I did. And yes, got 500. Okay. So they're just, it's just the same thing that they had issues with. I just want to make sure it's not just me. Okay. Thanks, Patricia. So Patricia confirmed that TFF still sucks. Like right now, they only gave her half profit as well. So, okay. Good to know. I just want to make sure I'm not the only person getting screwed. I feel like there's somebody in this group or someone that's on this live session that's like part of TFF. Whenever I talk shit, they either like fix it or they make it worse. Because I remember the last time I like mentioned something and then all of a sudden the next trade was perfect. And then after that, all of a sudden the trade was like at 300. So I was like, man, just got to deal with the issues. I mean, we can't really complain, right? Because when you guys sign that agreement for a funding company, they can basically do whatever they want. It's not really, they can't take blame. Well, they don't need to take blame for anything. So it is what it is. I mean, these funding companies are beneficial. So having a little loss like that's not going to make or break whether I continue to use the company or not. As long as they pay me out, then that's great. If they don't pay me out, then I'm for sure going to raise hell because that's the main reason for using them. But they're all right. I just don't recommend using them for the funding unless you've like maxed out your FTMO. So first FTMO, second MFF, and then lastly TFF until something else better comes along. Anyways, going over here to the 5 minute. So let's see, 5 minute here is still bearish, 10 minutes still bearish, but we're getting signals over here of a pending momentum for a buy. So if that ends up happening, then we're gonna have to shift from bearish to possibly neutral, because we need everything to line up here for the momentum scalp. Nice. Maddie over here actually caught the momentum failure that we were just discussing, and it already hit TP. I didn't even see that because it was so close to the news price. Yeah, it already hit. So this is a strategy that we were just discussing, guys. If you guys remember, we were just talking about this. We're calling it the momentum failure. One of CT's creations here. So basically this buy signal over here, I know it's invalid, but it's still a buy signal. Volume here was low, below average. So could have taken that for a sell. Maddie took it and then it hit his full TP right there. Nice work, Maddie. So some more profits over here for Maddie. He said no green strip, but up 1% for the day. Total profit of 500 for the day, Maddie. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Maddie. All right, cool. So other than that, guys, no worries. Hopefully more trades will come along the way. We're just going to have to be patient because the market is not moving too smoothly. CSUK over here as well. CSUK just posted his profits. He's currently at 5,410 for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work right here, CSUK. All green strips. But I can see the slippage here because you have 1,000, 1,500, 700, 700, 700, 800, and 700. I'm assuming all of these should have been 1,000, but it's all good. Total profit of 5,410 for the day on CSUK's account. Yeah, so C6, or sorry, CT said last one didn't take for a couple of reasons. It was caught up in the sideways 1 minute candles. Also, volume is slightly under, but really just right at moving average. It needs to be like very low. Okay, got it, CT. Yeah, look at this big spike right here. All right, so this is what I was just referring to, right? So this is what I was warning you guys about. I mentioned that when price is ranging like this, you don't want to take trades because this is going to happen, right? The breakout's going to happen. Whenever price is ranging like this, it breaks out one way or the other. It's the same pattern. So if you guys look over here, anytime there's a ranging market, so for example, right here, right, price is ranging, it's going to range until it breaks out. Range, breakout, right? So you don't want to trade when price is doing this, because when price is doing this, this is going to give you anxiety, right? Because you might be in this position, and then as soon as you like look away, price either spikes to your TP or spikes to your stop loss, and you're basically taking a gamble at that point. So that's why I don't trade when price is ranging, because this might happen. Like for example, if you're looking for this to come back down and you're kind of just playing around with it, and then price ends up spiking up, you're going to be pretty upset because you could have just set out that trade. And also it is NFP week, like Sisuk mentioned. So, and Maddie, this is a weird week for us, guys. It's the first trading week of the year, and then also it's NFP. So you're going to see a lot of these crazy movements right here. We also have news coming up right now at 7:30 as well. Let me check real quick. All right, so we got news over here coming up at 7:30. It's going to be natural gas storage, and then crude oil inventories at 8. So let me go back to the 5 over here. 5 minute has a pending buy signal. If this here closes with the buy signal, then this is going to invalidate our sell bias. We're no longer going to have a sell bias because the 5 minute here is going to invalidate nonetheless. You know, I haven't really looked at that momentum failure strategy here on the 5 CT. I'm not sure if you took a look at it. I guess it's a cool thing I could add to here. I'll just add the indicator, because it's useful. I mean, it's a lot more useful than people might realize. It's volume indicator. Now, if this closes with the buy signal, it's definitely going to be, volume is going to be way above average. Let me just maximize this real quick. Just want to look at examples here, see if this actually works well. This was below average. Yeah, for this one, from the 5 minute, you probably use a 2550. Yeah, actually, this does work really well on here at 2 CT. This is 2550. Another one right here, 2550 full TP. This one right here would have been a flop, or maybe let's see. Yeah, this one right here would have been a loss. But this is a in London session, so I wouldn't even bother taking trades here. London session. Only doing New York. Yeah, so I'll probably add this volume indicator to these other time frames just to play around with it and see where it goes. Not that I'll take any trades because I don't really trade on the 5. So what I was looking for here is I was looking for the buy signal and seeing if this was below average momentum for the momentum failure. I'll just keep it on there and I'll see. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. CT said above pivot buy, below for sell. Gotcha. So it needs to be kind of higher. Thanks, Peter. Peter also mentioned the IG sentiment's 50-50. So there is no real direction right now with regard to sentiment. It's right down the middle. So what else am I missing here? Let's see. Douglas said, so I passed my 25K FTMO demo account yesterday. but still not feeling confident to try a live challenge. Kevin said he's not taking any trades right now. Yeah, no, it's a good idea. And good idea to use you, Douglas. If you guys don't feel comfortable with like taking a challenge or opening a live account, then don't do it, right? Just wait until you are comfortable. So the big problem that I see with a lot of people is they want to open challenges right away. And when they open challenges right away, they end up blowing it like that, like within the first couple of trades. So what I do recommend is like what Douglas is doing, right? If you guys are not comfortable with your trading yet, which is perfectly fine, because you can't expect to be a pro trader in like a short period of time. I've been trading for like 12 years now. I still don't feel like I'm that good. I mean, yeah, I'm good compared to a lot of other people, but I'm not, in my mind, I'm not that great yet with my trade psychology and just like executing. Trading live has helped, but you guys can take it slow. I mean, if you guys are new to trading, don't expect to be the best trader over like even a year or a couple of years, because it's a learning game. You're always continuing to learn every time you come on. Let's see. Kevin said he's already up 22K from pre-market. No reason to risk it. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Kevin. There's no point if you're good where you're currently at. You might as well just wait on it. I mean, I'm doing the same thing. I'm not taking anything until I see something that's really good. Looking over here on the 5 minute, if this here closes with the buy signal, though, it's going to change things up. This is kind of lining up with Maddie's markup over here, or what he identified, him and Maria. They identified this quadruple or quintuple, I don't know, the five retests basically. So those 5 retests right here. Quintuple or something like that, whatever the word is for 5. I know quadruple is 4. So they identified this earlier, and this is why it's a little risky to take sells right now, because price came up and it just bounced off the support on the 1 hour. This doesn't mean price can't come back down, but at the moment it is a little risky where it's currently moving. So the 5 minute still hasn't closed. You can see the 5 minute over here is still pending. But anyways, looking at the trend here, the trend is still bearish. So the 10 minute here is bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 1 minute's bearish. The only thing here that's really raising a red flag is that, or actually the 1 minute here is starting to shift to the upside. The main thing that's raising a red flag here is going to be this current candle on the 5 minute. If this closes with the buy signal, you can see right here, even if it's invalid, this is still going to throw off the overall bias, because if the overall bias is bearish, we can't have a buy signal here. We need sell signals on all time frames. We have one here on the 10, one here on the 5, and then we have one that's possibly coming here on the 1 if and when it does happen. Yeah, Kevin said if it retraces the news candle from pre-market and closes above it, I'll start looking for buys. Yeah, same here, Kevin. I mean, at that point, this should start to shift. If price makes it that high, so let me go back to the 1 minute over here. News candle is like way up here, so it's very high. It's got a long way to go, right, until it makes it to that point. But if and when it does make it to this point right here where Kevin's mentioning, this is news price from 5:30 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. If price makes it to this point, then the 10 minute and 5 in here should be shifting as well. So yeah, if price gets to that point, Kevin, I definitely start looking for some buys, because that's a really far push to the upside. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. If you guys are brand new here and you guys are just, if you're completely lost and you don't know what I'm talking about, ask a question, right? I'll explain it to you. We have some downtime right here, so I can explain whatever you guys need help with. You're not really going to be interrupting because there's nothing for us to take at the moment. Price is still above here. So if price comes below this point, then I'll be looking for sells. Typically what I'm looking for here is for price to close below the pivots, right? And if that happens, then we'll have a momentum scalp. There's possibly a momentum scalp variation coming up right here, or actually a regular momentum scalp, because this buy signal has not closed yet. The only thing that I'm kind of looking at here is that the volume's a little low. So yeah, there's a sell signal here, but the volume was too low. So I don't think this here would have enough power to push down further to hit, TP. I think the candle might have been a little too big too. Yeah, candle was slightly a little too big. I mean, it still fits criteria because the high of the candle is below the stop loss. But for one, the volume here is too low. So obviously not one that I would take. And it's not below the pivots either. I wanted it to close below here for us to have entry. Will is asking, if a sell signal comes, will you take it? So if the volume was higher, I would have taken it, Will. Because then I would have been like, okay, if that's the case, then yeah, price is going to push at least 100 pips, right? Because 100 pips isn't that much. So if the volume here was high enough, then yeah, I would have taken it. If it was above this blue line, I would have had confidence that price was going to continue down lower. Kind of similar to this candle right here, right? So price was above. Or let me see if I could find something over here. I could probably find another example of price crossing, but not necessarily, there yet. So like, say for example, like this right here, right? So say everything was bearish, but then this right here gave me a sell signal and the volume was above average, right? If I saw something like that, then yeah, and in that case, I probably would have taken it right there for quick TP. But the volume was too low, so it wouldn't have enough power to push it to my TP. At that point, if I held on to this for too long and it didn't have enough push to hit my TP, it would have went back and hit my stop loss. So that's why I wouldn't have taken it there. This volume confluence definitely helps a lot with identifying, if the movement's actually there. Because the last thing you want to do is hold on to a trade and then just go sideways for like 5-10 minutes, and then all of a sudden it blasts to your stop loss. Because that's like the worst feeling, especially if you're scalping, because you want to get in and out super quickly. Yeah, a lot of red flags right there. Maddie said he didn't take it, wanted it below pivots. Yeah, same with that as well. Yeah, Christian said, yeah, the funny thing is that it hit. No, I know. Looks like it did hit, right? Like barely. Yeah, it hit, but it's too risky a move. Not one I would want to take. Because it can really go either way. Yeah, like what Kevin mentioned there. Let's see. So question from Paul. Paul's asking, can you advise how to add YM in TradingView, please? So if you're just looking to add it to your chart, Paul, you just click on your chart here and then just type in YM. You type in YM, it'll be like the first one right here. This is how you add, so like say, for example, I'm on US30, right? And I want to go to YM. So if I just type in YM will come over right there. I click on it. And then I go to YM right here. So you guys can see the difference here, right? Look at the volume on the bottom for currency.com. This thing has high volume all around. It's like not even accurate. That's why I don't like using this broker data, because broker data is not very accurate at all. You can't even see the difference here. This is why we never used the volume before, because when we're using currency.com or any type of broker, it's not useful, right? When you go to YM here, it makes a huge difference. You can see how different it is. It's like super accurate, because this is pulling the data from the actual exchange. Like, this is no broker data. This is like the raw data from the actual exchange. Paul, if you're asking like how to add it to your, like how to pay for it, go to your TradingView settings. So go to tradingview.com, go to your billing settings, and then there's gonna be a button there that says add extra market data. You click on that and then choose the CME group. CME group's the one that I use. That's for CBOT. There's another one called ICE, but it's like $100 more. And I don't think it's necessary unless you're trading the actual future, directly. All right, we got news coming up right here in 8 minutes. Thanks, Maddie, for the heads up. Oh, man, market kind of sucks right now. I mean, it was cool on open. So on open right here, it hit the breakout and then the breakout 2.0. But for everything else here, it's been kind of trash, right? Price came down a little bit, got stuck around the news price, didn't really do anything, pushed up right here. Now it's correcting back down, but it's still not very useful to us, because even though we have the bearish bias here, there's not going to be any entries for us to take. Because in order for us to get an entry, we need to get either a variation, momentum scalp variation, or momentum scalp. in order for us to get these entries, we need to get another retracement signal. So until we get a retracement signal, there's nothing for us to take. Retracement signal is going to be a buy signal. So I'm basically just looking for a green momentum signal to come up here. Once it comes up, we can start looking for entry. Let's see what else is here. Douglas said he's keeping an eye on the weekly VWAP. Prices below. So maybe looking for shorts. Nice, Douglas. Yeah, I'm still looking for sells right now as well. Yeah, no problem, Paul. Glad I can help you with that. Hopefully you find it. YM is really useful. So you have to pay extra for YM. It's like an extra $4 a month, but I think it's really useful, especially if you scalp, because you want the fastest data. So I think the $4 goes a long way, especially if you can catch one good trade. Like for example, I took one good trade right here, right, for this morning using YM. And then I locked in about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, close to 6,000 off one trade. So, that $4 went a long way, gave me perfect entry for this trade here. So I think it's worth it. I mean, personally, you guys don't have to buy it though, because if you guys are here on the live session, you guys can just watch my analysis. I have my charts up for you guys. So if you guys just want to trade in the morning, it's not necessary, but it is recommended if you want to trade on your own. Patricia said, Sean, can you give me the volume indicator again? I lost it. Just go over here to indicators, go to technicals, type in volume. It's the one that's built into TradingView. So it's just volume. There's nothing, it's not volume oscillator, it's not net volume, it's just volume. Once you add that to your chart, it'll come up right here on the bottom. If you guys want it on a separate chart, you can also move it down. So I like it on my chart here because I like it pretty clean. But if you guys want to move it lower, just go to your volume indicator right here, click this drop down, and then click move to new pane below, and it'll be on a separate one. But I don't really like that. I like it to be all in one. So I just have it combined with my main chart. And that's how you would find it right there, Patricia. Alex is asking, can you show how to add the momentum blocks again? Alex, so are you talking about these vertical momentum signals right here? Because if you're talking about these vertical momentum signals, you need access to them. So I don't know if you have access to them. You might. If you do, then go to indicators right here, go to invite only scripts, and it's going to be called K2 Trades proprietary trading system. Once you add that on your chart, you'll have these vertical lines right here. I changed my settings so it's a little lighter and it's kind of bright. Some people like it bright. I like it pretty more mellow. So mine look like this. If you're talking about the volume down here, this is going to be the volume indicator. So you can go to indicators. This one's free, so you can have this one for free. But the momentum signals over here, you need to have access to them. So if you don't have access to them, just go on the website, our website right here, kodikaitrades.com. Click unlock your free access, and then it'll give you options right here. If you want access to the strategies, you'll have to pay for that with indicators, or if you just want access to the live sessions, you can get access to that as well. But if you have access to the indicators already, just go to your invite only scripts. It should be right there. Let's see. All right, we got news coming up in a few minutes. Thanks, Maddie, for the little update. 6:26 right now. Market's gonna provide news at 7:30. Sorry, it's 7:26. News is gonna come up in about 4 minutes. Check CNBC real quick, see if there's any updates here. So it says Dow falls more than 300 points after strong jobs data signals. Fed likely to stay in hiking mode. Yeah, no problem, Alex. Glad I could help you with that. Yeah, if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put your questions in the chat, right? I can help you guys right now with whatever you guys need help with, because there's nothing for us to take right now. Also, we have news coming up shortly. So just let me know if you guys have any questions. Let's see, we have a pending buy signal right here. I mean, this is really close to the news price, so I'm not going to mess with it. The reason for that is because if you do take a trade here and you end up holding on to it for the extended period here for news to come up, then you might get screwed, because if this becomes the case and you hold on to it for like the next 2 or 3 minutes and the news happens, it's going to spike either way. So this again right here would be a momentum failure type entry. It's not a very strong, actually, like CT mentioned earlier, it doesn't fit the criteria because it has to be below the pivots. So this here would not be a momentum scalp variation. Or sorry, not a momentum. This wouldn't be a momentum failure entry because it needs to be below here. Either needs to be below the pivots or above the pivots. Below the pivots for a sell, above the pivots for a buy. So it's all good. It's all good. We just got to wait for it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm free to help you with whatever you need help with, whether it's my strategies, whether it's anything else. Just let me know. Yeah, I'm just saw breaking news right now. It says Amazon to lay off 17,000 corporate and tech workers, more than previously expected. So with a lot of these companies starting to lay people off, I do think we're going to be going into a deeper and deeper recession, but I mean, who knows? It's not really going to affect us too much because we trade both directions. So whether the market's doing well, we'll buy. If market's doing bad, we'll sell. It's not really going to be a big impact on us because it's going to be, yeah, it's just not going to have much of an impact for us. It's going to be, I feel like it'll make us more profit because when the recession is happening, there's going to be a lot more volatility in the market and it'll be really easy for us to cash these moves here. Let's see, question from Chrissy. Chrissy's asking, when watching a new pair to trade, what do you analyze first before taking any trades? So it just depends. So like, give me an asset, Chrissy. I'll analyze it for you and I'll show you exactly how I do anything. Because it depends on the asset. So if I'm trading Forex, I'm on the higher time frames. If I'm trading US30 or NASDAQ or S&P, I'm on the shorter time frames because I scalp those types of assets. Like for gold, for example, right? I'm using the shorter time frames. NZD-USD, okay, good example. So NZD-USD is actually one of the pairs that I do trade. What's going on with my trading view? Let me refresh this real quick. All right, let me just reopen this. What pair is this, right? It's weird. Forex. Okay, I'm gonna close this. All right, so for example, when I'm looking up something like NZD-USD, I typically trade this intraday. So what I do is I have the same setup for all of my timeframes here. Hey, Maddie, there's an entry here for NZD-USD, but the candle is too big. Yeah, it's too big. It's 72 pips. So obviously I'd skip that one. But anyways, Chrissy, so I mean, typically you'll have like one chart open like this, right? If you're trading it, I trade it on the 1 hour. This is where I make my entries. What I do is I have 3 charts. The same thing that I do for US30, I do for NZD-USD. So I'll basically do a top-down analysis. I want to make sure I confirm the trend first. So if I pull up NZD-USD right here, I'll look at the 8 hour first. I'll see if price is in a downtrend because you want to make sure everything's in the same direction. So I look here on the 8 hour, you can see price obviously is in a downtrend, right? Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. I'm like, all right, this is in a downtrend right here on the 8 hour. So I'm cool with this right here. And I'm like, okay, if this is in a downtrend, I want to go to the 4 hour and I want to make sure I'm seeing the same thing here. On the 4 hour, I'm seeing the same exact thing, right? Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. I'm like, all right, for sure, I'm looking for a sell. So once I have that set up, now I go to the 1 hour. I'm like, all right, cool. Everything is cool here. It looks good to me. I'm now for sure looking for sells here. So what I'm looking for next is I'm looking for a sell signal, right? So say, for example, I'll just use this as an example right here. I know this is a previous time, but it was still bearish. So say, for example, I'm looking at NZD-USD here. I see a bearish trend on the 8 hour. I see a bearish trend on the 4 hour. I'm here on the 1 hour. I'm like, okay, cool. I got a bearish trend right here, right? Price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. And then I see a sell signal. This is exactly how I apply the momentum scalp strategy for US30, right? This is literally this strategy right here, but on a higher time frame. So right here, and you guys can see, I like to trade momentum. So when I see something like this, and I'm like, okay, I get a sell signal, price is trending down. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this entry here, short position. I put my stop loss at the previous swing. Typically, my cap is 50 pips because I don't like holding on to these trades for too long, especially if it's something that moves slow. So for example, here, this is 63 pips. So I probably wouldn't even take this trade. But if it was smaller, like maybe this one right here, then I would take it. Either way, I would cap it at like 500 pip or 50 pips. And then once I have that set up right there, that's where I would take a trade. And then you can see it goes straight to TP. This was on Tuesday on market open, so I wasn't trading during this day, but this is exactly what I'm looking for. It's pretty simple. It's the same strategy we're applying here for US30. It's just I'm applying it on the higher time frames here for NZD/USD. One thing that I also use sometimes is I'll look over here at the technicals. So I'll go to more technicals right here, and I'll see if everything's bearish. So I see here on the daily, everything is kind of for a sell. So I'm like, okay, if I see that there, 4 hours, a very strong sell, I'm like, okay, this is probably going to drop. So that's why I'd be comfortable taking the sell there. So there's just a couple of different confluences. This isn't necessary, but for the most part, this is how I identify our signals, and that's how I take them. So super simple right there. But yeah, if there's any other questions regarding that, Chris, feel free to let me know. But it's pretty straightforward. It's basically the same strategy, but just on a higher time frame, because Forex moves a lot slower. All right. Yeah, no problem, Chrissy. Definitely. And if you want to go over this more in detail, just come to the mentoring sessions and I'll give you as many examples as you like. This works on anything. It's not just US30, it works on NASDAQ. You got a sell entry right here. This one's currently running right now. Works on S&P, same thing. Works on gold. Gold here as well. This thing dumped pretty heavy. Move this up. Yeah, my strategies work for everything, guys. So my strategies are momentum based and we use the trend. So they're momentum based trend strategies, trend following strategies. They work on literally any asset. As long as the asset moves and there's volatility there, my strategies will work on them. So just, let me know. CT said Sean's red hot sauce. That shit's good for everything. I know, right? Yeah, no, this is why I like trading this way, because my type of strategies work for all types of assets. Like you don't have to just focus on Forex. You can use the same exact strategy for indices, futures, whatever you want to trade, really. Let me go ahead and mark news price right here. So let's see, CT sent me a markup. So let me go ahead and just check that out real quick. This is news price right here. Got that marked up. Take this off. See, CT over here sent me a link. See, we got Kip over here. Kip locked me a total profit of 11,524 for the day. All wins and no losses. Nice work, Kip. Kip said slippage is stupid. I'm probably out. Probably a good idea. Let me scroll up real quick. Okay, so CT over here said sell variation just hit. He thinks he's done for the day. Gotcha. Yeah, so CT actually took the sell right here. This was actually considered a momentum scalp, CT. So you weren't wrong on that. This was a momentum scalp entry. So you did take that entry properly. I wouldn't take it because I don't like taking invalid signals, but you can still take these here, especially if the volume's high. Volume was high right here. So this right here is something that I guess you could have taken. It was kind of close to news price though here at 7:30. So probably not one that I would necessarily want to take myself. It's too close to news. I'd be worried about it, spiking based off the news. So Yeah. Anyways, guys, we're still waiting for another entry here. It's all good. I mean, we still have some time here. It's 7:38, so we have about like 20 minutes till 8 o'clock. Hopefully we'll find something. If not, it's okay. You guys got to keep in mind that it is NFP week and it is also the first trading week of the year. So you're gonna see a lot of this unusual price movement, and it's fine to sit out of the market if you're not feeling comfortable. Yeah, exactly. CT said it's not invalid to pre-sell signal, close under the pivots. Oh yeah, no, you're right. So sorry, CT. He's talking about this one before. So CT was actually talking about, I thought he was talking about the sell signal, but he was talking about this one. This red candle right here is a momentum scalp variation. We confirmed the overall trend is bearish. Retracement momentum signal right here for a buy. Price closed past the pivots above it, and then it closed right back below right there. So this would have been an entry for a momentum scalp variation. Yeah, sorry, CT, I was looking at the wrong candle. This is the one that CT took, and it went straight to TP right there. And then this right here, it was followed by a momentum scalp. So there's two entries here. There was a momentum scalp variation, and then right after it was the momentum scalp right next to it, right there. And if you would have taken both of them, they both would have hit full TP. Right there, back-to-back wins. I didn't take it because it's right at news price. Obviously, I don't trade news. So see where this takes us next. Let's see, question from Maria. Maria is asking, are you going to add the volume condition to the strategies? Not exactly, Maria. So as I mentioned before, I don't like to have too many requirements, right? I want to keep the requirements as low as possible, because if you have too many requirements, you're going to miss a lot of good trades. You'll see here that there's sometimes sell signals, but the volume is low, right? But they still work. So I don't want to add a requirement that's unnecessary. So for example, right here, we have a sell signal. It's below the pivots. The volume is low, right? If there was a requirement here, you would have skipped this trade. So if you skip that trade there, you would have given away a free win, right? So I'm probably not going to add it as a requirement. I'll add it as a confluence, but it's not going to be like an end all be all. Like this has to be present for entry, because the strategy still worked fine without it. I mean, we've been using these strategies for years and they work perfectly fine. But if you want to be very careful, then yeah, you can use it as a requirement. Will said possible variation. Let's see real quick. There's no variation here, Will, because there's no buy signal. So you need a buy signal first in order for there to be a variation. There's a sell signal right here, but no buy signal. Yeah, you're good, Will. And I'm glad that you bring that up, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have thought that this is possibly a variation as well. So looking at the requirements here for the variation, going down to the second requirement, we don't have this yet. We need a retracement momentum signal. So I'm going to go ahead and put an arrow right there so that you guys can know what to look for. We're looking for a retracement momentum signal on the 1. Going over here at the momentum scalp, everything's still bearish on the 10, bearish on the 5, bearish here on the 1. So in order for us to have a momentum scalp entry, we need to have the same thing. We need a retracement signal so that we can get an actual momentum signal on the 1. So what I'm looking for here, guys, is I'm looking for a buy signal to come up. If that buy signal comes up, then this is probably going to be the first entry that will come up. And then after that, this will probably follow right after. Or you might get an entry for both of these strategies on the same candle if it becomes a sell signal. So lots of opportunity here, but it's just going to be a matter of patience waiting for this to actually come up. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, otherwise, we're just going to keep waiting for something to come up here. Some good profits right here from CT. CT is currently up 5,700 on his first account, and then his second account, he's up 5,846. So a total profit of basically 10,000 for the day. Well over 10,000 actually. Nice work, CT. Patrick over here, he said done for the day, locking a total profit of 4,223. Nice work. All wins, no losses for the day, Patrick. Then we got Patricia over here. Patricia locked in a total profit of 4,550 for the day. All wins, no losses as well. Great work, Patricia. Yeah, it looks like Patricia over here took the Yeah, she took both trades in both directions. So pretty solid right there, guys. We have a buy signal right here, guys, but this, I know we were probably looking for a momentum failure, but this is above the pivot. So as CT mentioned, you need price below the pivots for a sell, or you need price above the pivots for a buy, which we don't have either one yet right now. Let's see, CT said, CT said, hate sells above pivots. CC said same. CT said stay away. Yeah, no, definitely stay away from like where price is currently at. So we do have the retracement signal right here, but as you guys can see, there's no clear direction. Price is still pushing up right here, which is not a good sign. 5 minutes is still pushing up as well. It looks like price is trying to make its way back to the upside, but it's not really having, it's not necessarily having the push that it needs to get past it. It just keeps ranging. So the range just got wider. Basically, we had a range earlier, and now we have another range. It's like nothing's changed. Still ranging right there. Maddie said he's done for the day. Closes MT4. Yeah, probably a good decision, Maddie. It's getting close to 8 o'clock, so I don't know. We'll see if there's any other entries here, but this is kind of what we were expecting for the week. I mentioned this on Tuesday when we first started trading for the trading week, that this week was going to be very iffy. Tomorrow is going to be crazy. It's NFP tomorrow, so we'll see if we can like grab something during that market. But this whole week's kind of been all over the place. It wasn't really a good week. I mean, the market has been trending, but it starts to trend super late in the market. So like yesterday, I wasn't really trading, but Will actually messaged me while I was at the gym. He was like, "Hey, Sean, you see the market's looking good. Are you going to trade?" And I said, "Definitely not," because, I'm sticking to the game plan. So I know the market will be alluring sometimes when you see it moving directional, but if it's not within your trading plan, then don't trade it, right? Like for me, I trade from 6:30 to 8 and I'm done. If the market starts to move nice at 10 o'clock, I usually don't even hop onto the market. I just let it be. Sure, there's profits to make, but there's also mistakes to be made as well. So let me see if there's anything else here. I don't think there's really much else to look at because it is 7:45 right now. And with it being 7:45, I'm not really expecting this to come back down in the next 15 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'll sit around with you guys for a bit, see where this is going to go, but I'm not expecting any other entries to come up from now and 8 because we only have 15 minutes, not very much time to identify anything for us to take. Typically, if we don't have any entries by 8 o'clock, I usually stay till 8:30. But the reason why I'm not anticipating to stay today is because if price starts to shift to the upside, in order for us to take an entry here, we need the 10 minutes to be bullish and the 5 minutes to be bullish as well, right? If I still stay till 8:30, I'm not expecting price to make its way all the way up here in the next 30 minutes, right? It's like very unlikely, pretty much impossible. So there's no point in hanging out for another, 30 minutes to an hour, just to wait for nothing to happen. Because the market's probably going to, typically what happens at 8 o'clock is the market starts to consolidate. So let's see, let's go back to the 1 minute over here. See if price has its one last push back to the downside. If it does, then great. If it doesn't, then we'll have to just sit out. The thing that I want to keep in mind here as well is that price is right next to, it's right next to the news price right here. So these are red flags. Even if price got to this area, I couldn't take any sells. And if price got to this area down here, I can't take any sells either. They're going to fall within my red flags. Red flags right here. When to avoid trades when price is near news price. See, Alex said, "I'll see you tomorrow, bolts up." Yeah, definitely, Alex. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, so this is this Alex, my bad. I thought you were a different Alex for a second. So now I remember which Alex you are. You should get on the Zoom, Alex, not on the YouTube, because the YouTube is delayed. So just make sure you get on the Zoom next time, because I know you're in the premium. Yeah, Chargers are at Broncos this Sunday. Let's see. Yeah, Christian said too many red flags today, so we'll see tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Christian. There's like no areas for us to trade. Even if we got a sell signal right here, it's going to be right at the news price right here. So it's going to be a red flag where I wouldn't be taking the trade. If it closes right here, I'll mark it up for you guys. But again, as I mentioned, I'm not taking any trades around these red flags. They're just not worth the risk. So I'm looking over here. So see how we have the pending sell signal, guys? I'm looking at the momentum right here. If it's above average, then I'm expecting price to probably, drop past it. I'm not going to take the trade though, because it's a red flag. It's at the news price. It's an area manipulation. So what I'll do is I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not going to take it though. So I wish this wasn't at news price right here, because if it wasn't there, I would have taken the trade. But it's like literally at this pink line. Volume here is above, so this does meet criteria for a momentum scalp. But fortunately, I am not going to be taking this here. I'm really tempted to take it, but I'm not gonna FOMO into this move here. It's not worth the risk. Yeah, this would have been a nice entry too. So if you guys are in the position, I'll mark it up here so that you guys can follow it, but I got to stick to the game plan. This is why I'm consistent, right? I'm very consistent because I stick to the game plan. Even if I see an entry there and it looks good, then I'm still going to skip it because it doesn't meet my criteria here with regard to my red flags. Yeah, Christian said, don't turn to the dark side, Sean, LOL. Yeah, and I agree. I'm not going to do it. So I'll follow it here, but I'm not in the position because it's obviously in this area of manipulation. You guys can see whenever price gets near this news price gets highly manipulated, right? So price comes above here, huge spike, comes back down, spikes again right there, comes to this green line right here, spikes down, comes back to news price again right here, fakes out, fakes out, fakes out, fakes out, just a bunch of fake outs, right? Fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out, and then directional push. So there's no reason for me to force any trades right now. I'm still hoping it hits though. If you guys are in this position, I'm hoping it hits for you guys, because it does look like a good entry. It's just the obvious red flag in front of me right here. It's stopping me from getting into the trade. See, Maddie said, I'm going to go get some coffee next to the barbershop. Yeah, definitely, Maddie. We'll see you here tomorrow, or I'll talk to you later on the chat. We'll see if there's any Forex trades we can take. And there you go, full TP. So if you guys took the trade here, as I mentioned, it looked like a great trade, but I didn't take it because it didn't meet my criteria. Red flag. So you guys can see the strategy still worked perfectly fine. It's just when my red flags hit right here, it just raises that that caution for me where I don't want to take a trade. Also, you can see right here, it barely taps stop TP. So you might have had to pull out of that early. So if you guys made profit on that, great work. If you guys want to send in your profits, go ahead and send them in to any of the chats here, and I'll add them to the list. So yeah, unfortunately, this is the market we're currently in. I think volatility will pick up even more as we continue along with the with this trading year. You gotta keep in mind it's January 5th, guys. So we got a whole year ahead of us. So no need to go overboard here in January when the market's not really moving too smoothly. So, all right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'll sit on here for a little bit with you guys and see where this goes. Gosh, yeah, Rashida said, yeah, I didn't close her out. She had to close out manually, which is a smart move, Rashida, and I commend you for that, because I know a lot of people will not close out early. They'll want to take that at like they'll be at like at $99 profit, right? Say for example, their TP is $100, and they're like so greedy that they don't want to pull out early at that 99. And then price ends up going the opposite. So nice work, Rashida, on actually pulling out early. I do commend you on that, because I've seen a lot of people where they're so close to their TP, they're like off by like 1 pip, and then price reverses and they don't want to close out because they're greedy, and they end up hitting their stop loss. So nice work. Yeah, Christian said Rashida breaking the bank today. Congrats. Yeah, no, definitely Rashida. Great work. She just sent in her profits right here as well. Yeah, Rashida said I walked away and heard you and say it when and ran. So Rashida over here locked in a total profit of 680 for the day on this account, and then her second account over here locked in a total profit of 480. So nice work, Rashida. She took that trade there for a sell. As you guys can see, I didn't take the trade myself, but I still provide you with the entry in case you guys want to take it, because I did think it was a good entry. It was just, it didn't fit my criteria here. So you guys will see a lot of times there'll be good entries, but they run into my red flags here. The reason why I don't take trades around these areas is because I've lost a lot of trades around these areas. And for me personally, I'm more focused on avoiding bad trades and just locking good trades that are high quality versus taking every single trade that comes up. But if I do see a trade, I'll mark it up for you guys, because obviously, you know, my strategies here work very well. It's just when you're trading at a negative risk toward, like we're doing here, you have to be very concise with like which ones you decide to take. Like I'd rather have one entry and a full TP rather than 3 entries and then 1 stop loss, and then I'm back at break even, right? So it's a different way of trading. You guys will see I trade very differently compared to a lot of the other people out there. But my concepts and methods work. So that's the main thing that matters. As long as it works, you know, don't change something that doesn't work, don't change something that isn't broken. But all right, guys, I think that's it for today. It's about to be set 8 o'clock. It's 7:54 right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm more than willing to stay on here longer with you guys if you guys have questions. I'm going to go and check out the Forex pairs real quick to see if there's anything here that I want to take. But I don't think there's anything here. I know some of you guys are looking for the signals. Unfortunately, there's no signals available right now because the market is just barely stabilizing from the new year. Looking at AUD USD over here, there's no direction. As you guys can see, I look for a confirmation of trend across the board. The 1 hour over here was bullish. 4 hours also bullish, and the 8 hour here was bullish, but it's starting to shift to the downside. So if this happens, then we might be looking for possible sells. Euro USD over here, price is obviously shifting to the downside as well. Same with GU, price is very bearish right here. NZD USD over here, this is the one that I marked up with Maddie. The stop loss is too far out, so it's not one that I would necessarily take. Yeah, it's 72 pips. Like cutoff is 50 pips. So if it's anything above that, I usually just sit out. I'm looking for these intraday moves, not swing moves. USD CAD over here, no direction. USD CHF over here. Yeah, no direction either. I mean, price might be bullish here, but it's pretty neutral at the moment. And then USD JPY. So it looks like all the Forex pairs here actually reversed, like super heavy. So it's a good thing we didn't take any of these trades here because they're just a little too risky. Yeah, Gallo said, "True, you make it easy." Yeah, I make it look easy, guys, but you know, this is only easy because it's repetition. I've been doing this for years now. I've been doing it live with you guys for years, actually. So this is all second nature to me. It's not like I have to think about taking these entries. Whenever I see a good entry, I just take it and then I run with it. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. It's about to be 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean at kodikaitrades.com. And if you guys want to go on the website here, you can click on unlock your free access. If you want access to my indicators and my strategies, click on that right there. You'll get access to pretty much all the strategies that I'm applying. I have over 20 strategies here. As you guys can see, I only apply 3 of them though during this live session. So if you guys want to go and learn the strategies, go on the website. You guys can get access to it there. Otherwise, if you guys want to go in and watch any of the previous live sessions, click on get access to Kodi Kai live trading sessions on YouTube. Click on this right here. It'll take you to the YouTube channel. And then from here, you can watch pretty much all of the live results. Every day I make a video of everyone's results. So, you know, we haven't had one day of no profits for like, I think 3 years now, 3 or 4 years. So if you guys ever want to go back and just vet the trades here, you guys can go and see everyone's profits. If you guys want to see the previous mentoring sessions, all of the previous mentoring sessions are right here. All of my previous live sessions are right here. So if you guys were to look at this here, you guys can see I've been trading live for over 3 to 5 years now. So you can go back, and if you guys want to see what I was trading back January 5th of last year, right? You can even pull back. You could even pull this back that far back. So if you go back far enough, you guys will see that I have my live session from the same exact day of last year. So if you want to go over here to January 5th of 2022. So if you want to see what my analysis was last year, you can pull this up right here. And all of my live sessions from those previous times are here. So if you guys are wondering, how was the market moving January 5th of 2022? Just pull up the live session from that day. And you guys will see here that I was trading live same day last year. And you guys can see my analysis over here of US30. So I know some of you guys like to do that. Go back and just watch old videos and see, how my analysis has changed from now until then. Analysis is pretty much the same thing. It's just my explanations were probably a little different because obviously I'm catering to like whatever you guys want to see on the chart. So, all right, guys, other than that, I think that's about it. There's no other entries for us to take right now. If you guys don't have to trade, I recommend just sitting out of the market till tomorrow. My schedule is 6:30 to 8. That's when I trade. And that's about it. So I'm done for the day. I made some pretty good profit here pre-market. A lot of you guys here made profit during the live session. Maria here just posted some profits. Total profit of 157 for the day. Nice work, Maria. All wins and no losses. So, all right, guys, if you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in any group. I will go over them at the end of the session today, and I'll be posting the video like I normally do every day. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow.